Greetings, respected admin and readers. Ever since I was a child, I've been haunted by experiences that defy the boundaries of reality. While others experience the world through their waking senses, I've always had a window into another realm. A realm that manifests itself in my dreams. I'm compelled to share one of these stories with you. If it resonates, if you find it even remotely captivating, I'll tell you more, unleashing the floodgates of my otherworldly encounters. It all began when I was single. I lived a life consumed by work, often staying up until the break of dawn to catch up on my backlog. My days were a blur, and I rarely found myself at home. But the nights were a different story. In the quiet stillness of my room, after everyone else had retired, I would be visited by a symphony of unsettling noises. It was as if a horde of ghostly horses were galloping across the ceiling, their hooves pounding against the wood with relentless fury. The sounds echoed in my ears, driving me to the brink of madness. When dawn finally broke and I sought refuge in sleep, I'd be awakened by an unseen presence. A voice, cold and menacing, would whisper, "Late, get up." Then the bed would shake violently, as if a phantom were trying to throw me from my slumber. My hands and feet would be grasped by invisible claws, and sometimes I'd be flung from the bed onto the cold, unforgiving floor. I would plead with these unseen tormentors. "Leave me be," I'd scream into the void. "I want to sleep." And for a brief while, they would relent. But their sinister presence always returned, a constant reminder of their malevolent power. Years passed and I entered into the sacred union of marriage. My friends, I see many vivid dreams, and I often find myself soaring through the sky, a spirit untamed yet not in control. But the nightmares continued, evolving into something more sinister. My tormentors no longer simply haunted me. They threatened me. At first, I chalked it up to stress, a manifestation of my anxieties. But the bruises that appeared on my body after I woke up, the evidence of my nocturnal battles, proved otherwise. One night, the nightmare reached a fever pitch. I found myself in a bathroom, a place of sterile white tiles and cold, hard surfaces. But it was no ordinary bathroom. It belonged to Amon, a man shrouded in mystery. In this surreal landscape, a towering woman materialized before me. Her black hair a tangled mess, her eyes gleaming with malevolence. Her voice, a chilling rasp, echoed through the room. "I will kill your entire family." I saw them lying on the floor, lifeless, wrapped in the white shrouds of death. Fueled by primal terror, I confronted this monstrous creature. We wrestled, my fists clenched tight, her grip like a vice. In the chaos, a beautiful child appeared, its face radiating an ethereal light. "Don't worry," the child whispered, its voice sweet and calming. "I'm here to help you." The woman turned her wrath on the child, and I, overwhelmed by the intensity of the battle, fell into a deep slumber. I was plagued by these nightmares for years. They haunted my waking hours, leaving me with a constant sense of dread. The truth is, I've had other dreams, more mundane and tedious, but I won't bore you with those details. Then, a few months ago, my husband brought home a pair of birds. The moment one of them saw me, it began to claw at itself, its tiny body covered in blood. It was as if it was consumed by an unseen force, its pain echoing within my soul. I was deeply saddened by the bird's suffering. It was a constant reminder of my own torment, a living symbol of the unseen forces that were manipulating my life. I sought solace in prayer, reciting the verses of Al-Kursi, a powerful passage from the Quran, yet the bird's pain continued. One night I dreamed of the bird trapped in its cage. It was joined by two chickens, and in a moment of misguided kindness, I reached out to take one. But my hand slipped, sending the chicken tumbling into a glass of boiling hot tea. The chicken burned, its cries echoing through the dream, and I, too, felt the searing pain of fire. I was engulfed in flames, my screams echoing in the dream world. I looked at the bird, its eyes burning with rage. It screamed and moaned, its gaze focused on me, a gaze that spoke of unspeakable hatred. I was terrified, a primal fear that paralyzed my body. I stumbled out of the dream, a cold sweat clinging to my skin. I sought refuge in my room, hoping to escape the nightmare's grip, but as I entered, I found myself transported back to my old room, the place where my torment began. A chilling calmness washed over me. I was alone in a space that felt both familiar and safe. Yet, I knew the danger was not over. I felt a presence behind me, a weight in the air that spoke of malice. I turned to face the bird, trapped behind a pane of glass, its eyes burning into me. "Why are you following me?" I demanded, my voice trembling. "What do you want?" "I've been searching for you for years," the bird replied. "You burned my child, my son. I saw his suffering, his death." Tears streamed down my face. "I didn't do it on purpose," I cried. "I was so upset. You saw how heartbroken I was." The bird's gaze softened, a glimmer of understanding replacing its rage. "I forgive you," it whispered. "I will leave this place and never return." I awoke, my heart still pounding, my body drenched in a sweat. I couldn't be sure if it was a dream or if I truly encountered a supernatural being. But one thing was certain: the bird's forgiveness had set me free. I was no longer haunted by the shadows of my past, no longer bound by the chains of fear. The darkness had lifted, and the sun, for the first time in a long time, felt warm upon my skin.